And one of our top focus remains on all that's happening in Nepal. At least 22 people are dead and hundreds injured after violent protests in the country in the last 24 hours. The massive anti-corruption movement continued despite the previously imposed social media ban being lifted. The protesters saying that social media ban was never the core concern of the people. The ensuing violence and unrest prompted the resignation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. And the situation on ground still remains volatile. The country's parliament has been charred after it was vandalized and set ablaze by protesters on Tuesday. Neighboring buildings have also been torched and streets today lay empty. In Bhadpateni, a department store was set on fire while 3 police officers stationed at Koteshwar were allegedly killed by protesters after they had already surrendered. While the situation remains tense even now, Nepal Army has announced plans to impose prohibitory order to restore normalcy. So far, over 26 people have been arrested for vandalizing property and looting across the country. The turmoil has even forced the shutdown of Kathmandu's main international airport, with several airlines cancelling their flights to the country, including India's Air India as well as Indigo. The violent protests are led largely by the country's youth against corruption, nepotism and economic stagnation. It was on Tuesday that the vandals set the Nakhu jail on fire and freed Nepal's ex-deputy Prime Minister Rabi Lamichhane and 1,200 others. Free, the protesters demand Lamichhane to be appointed as the next Prime Minister, whom they see as a change. United Nations Human Rights Chief has termed the incident appalling and has urged authorities to protect the right to peaceful protest and called for investigation into the deadly crackdown in Nepal.
I'm appalled by the escalating violence in Nepal that has resulted in multiple deaths and the injury of hundreds of mostly young protesters, as well as the widespread destruction of property. I plead with security forces to exercise utmost restraint and to avoid further such bloodshed and harm.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged Nepalese authorities to show restraint and seek a constructive path forward. Parallelly, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also called for peace in neighbouring nation, while terming the violence heart-wrenching and stressing that Nepal's stability is vital for the region. And WION's correspondent Saloni Murarka has sent us this ground report from Kathmandu. Take a listen in.
Anti-corruption protests here in Nepal turned violent. The administrative buildings have been set on fire. I'm standing at the moment in the Supreme Court. This is the Supreme Court of Nepal. As you can see, these are the helpers who have come in to help clean the building, take the files out which are still intact. It is estimated that over 50,000 file cases have been destroyed in this fire. I will take you in. This is the main premises. This is the main premises of the Supreme Court of Nepal, and this is the main building. As you can see, all the files are being passed on from one person to another to clear out the building and the debris around. As I walk inside the building, I see shattered papers, shattered glasses, and debris around. You see, all of the people have come in to help the lawyers and the helpers of the Supreme Court to clean the building. We'll just take a walk inside and see the situation. You can see the entire wall is charred by fire, and however, we are yet to receive exact information on the loss that has incurred in the court. But many of the thousands of cases files have been destroyed in this fire. We'll take a walk in. You see, this is the line that is going from in to out, passing on the files from one person to another, trying to clear the building as soon as possible. This is the main entry gate to the building. As you can see, it is completely destroyed and charred, and debris around, shattered glasses around. All the windows panes have been broken. However, all the workers, all the lawyers anyway have gathered around to clean their own workplace. These are the burnt files, and it is estimated that thousands of file cases have been destroyed in this fire. You can see these walls which are completely charred, and in many of the areas in part of the Supreme Court we see that still this smoke is rising to the sky. Every person, every normal civilians have also come in to help the lawyers in. Thousands of file cases have been destroyed. The protesters attacked the government buildings, the administrative buildings, and have brought to the ground. I'm Saloni Murarka reporting from Kathmandu for WION Nepal.